Welcome everyone to tonight's call. My name is Ellie Montgomery and I'm so excited to be sharing with you all about transitioning from a 9 to 5 or whatever other work you might be doing that you are not so excited about or you don't see yourself really thriving in long term, to creating a life of full-time freelance work or entrepreneurship is another way that we describe it. And we're going to hear some amazing women's stories tonight. But first, I'm just going to give my my kind of top tips for if you are coming onto this call and you're someone who is, I'm guessing you're all really craving creating more of a lifestyle with freedom and owning your life, being able to work for yourself, have more flexibility. And so I'm going to talk about what I found really important in my own life in creating what I've created with my business and lifestyle. And then how I, background noise. Okay, and then what I found is really important in guiding other women. So I love working with men and women to help them create their own businesses and freelance lifestyles. And so I'm going to share what I found to be kind of the key things to look at as you're beginning or really wanting to take the plunge and get more into this journey. So the first tip that I have found to be really important is to really reflect on what are you good at and what is important to you. So what are your top values? So for me, it was working for myself. I don't like having a boss at all. Like that was my number one thing. I'm like, I do not want a boss. I don't want anyone telling me what to do. I experienced having a boss for many years and I just knew that I did not want that. So that was a big thing for me. Being able to work from anywhere. I love to travel. I love to be independent. A big desire of mine through my life is to see the world, and I don't want to be location dependent. I want to be location independent. So I was really looking for something that I could create from anywhere and work from anywhere in the world. And the third thing that was really important for me was doing work that was making an impact and giving back, particularly in the health and wellness arena. That's an area that's really important to me. And then one final one was not having a ceiling on my income. So having no limits, no cap on what I could earn. That was a key one for me. But so for each person, I really recommend getting clear on what is it that you want. Do you want to be able to work whatever you're going to create around your kids and your family? We're going to hear from an amazing mom tonight about how she's doing that. What field do you want to work in? What are you passionate about? What's going to light you up? Because when you work for yourself, it's really important that you're your own boss. You have no one telling you what to do. So you want to feel that intrinsic motivation and really believe in what you're doing. And then, like I said, what are you good at? What are your strengths? For me, I love working with people. I love speaking and sharing and educating other people. So maybe you're really good at writing, or really good at leading others and coaching. Like these are just the things you want to get clear on. What are your skills? What are you good at? So that was a lot. That's number one. Number two is find a mentor. So this, from what I can see, is the number one. I mean, these are all important, but this is key. Because you want to find someone that has what you have and that's created what you want to create. And having great mentorship, having someone that can guide you and who's done what you want to do and can guide you is really key. And so finding a mentor, someone that's willing to guide you, someone who's created what you want to create, and having that mentorship relationship is key in creating any kind of business, freelance lifestyle. And then the third thing that I find really important is to invest in training. So I think a lot of people expect to just be able to wake up one day and create a really successful, thriving business. And in my experience, it doesn't work that way. It takes investment of time, energy. You want to get trained. You want to find great education, read the books, and really become an expert in whatever field that you're wanting to enter. And that's going to really help you create a successful career in whatever field you want to go into. And then the last one, and this is what we're going to spend the rest of the call talking about, is for me in my business, what has been really important is finding a company that whose values and mission I really believe in, to align myself with. And I know that there are a lot of different vehicles out there for creating financial freedom and independence. And, I also think there are a lot of people out there who are struggling to do this on their own. And in my experience, aligning with a product that I really believe in and a company whose mission I can really get behind has been key, because it's 2019, like we all need multiple streams of income. And, there are a lot of different ways that people are creating freelance, businesses, maybe through social media and through these different avenues. And if you have a product that you can offer to people that you love, that is a very smart business decision and move. So for me personally, I found a company, it was about 8 years ago. I started using their products 15 years ago, and then I started sharing them with others 8 years ago. And the products completely changed my life. It's a health and wellness company. They make fruits, veggies, and berries blended up and concentrated into capsules. So a really high quality line of vegan plant products. And I love them. They completely changed my health, my energy, skin, sleep. They helped heal my digestive system. And no one in my family has been on antibiotics in 15 years. So I'm a raving fan of the products. And when I was in my early 20s and acting, I was auditioning and nannying and trying to piece together an income. And that's when I really took a look at the company's business model and decided to align myself. And I'm also a coach, and I lead women's retreats, and I love being an entrepreneur. I have several different businesses, and this has become my main financial my main income. And it's been a total game changer in the financial picture of my business, and created stability and allowed me to offer a consumable product to my clients. So I love it. I love helping other women, create businesses with the company. I think that for any kind of coach or someone trying to create a freelance business, it's a no-brainer. Wellness is the foundation of everything. Our food is the foundation of everything. And it's just a wonderful product and mission to offer to anyone that I'm working with. So we're going to hear from some women tonight who have aligned themselves with the same company that I have. We have a range of different backgrounds and, careers that they were in before, careers that they work alongside this, the product that we share. And and they're all just their lives have been really transformed through the products and the business opportunities. So first, we're going to hear from Kerry Eckelkamp.
Thank you, Ellie. I love hearing your story. So I'm a mom of two in St. Louis, Missouri, and I actually found out about these products 3 years ago. I had a son that was having some picky eating issues, and I had a doctor tell me about these products. And that was when it really clicked to me that this was a lot bigger than just a product line. It was recommended by health professionals all over the world, and mine that I really trusted suggested this to me. So we started him on it and had really awesome results with just changes in his digestive system and his health. So I quickly became a raving fan, but even more so than that, I was at a crossroads in my career where I was really interested in doing something else that got me out of the 9 to 5. But I had a very risk adverse husband who wouldn't invest in any type of business model or, let me really try anything. And this kind of stumbled into my lap when this product made a difference for him. I started learning more about it, and the model made so much sense to me because I'm a 50% earner for my household. So it's very hard for me to walk away from the thriving career I have in IT sales. And essentially, it was a $50 investment to get involved with this company that created a pathway to have a residual income. And I could do it alongside my 9 to 5. And as it's grown, I was able to leave a more stressful position that used to keep me up at night to take a less stressful job because I was able to bridge the gap in the income with what I earn in my business. So it has been life-changing for me in many ways, both through our family's health, but also through my career path. I just think it's important to hit on some of these things. I don't know if anyone's watching who works in corporate America or, has sort of a higher level position like mine, but there is a benefits package at the top of this company. And that's something that holds a lot of us tied to our jobs as we provide benefits for our families. And there's college tuition waivers, these amazing packages that no entrepreneur typically is going to get on their own. In fact, it's going to cost you a fortune to have insurance when you're an independent person working on the market. So that was amazing. And then the other thing I think that's really cool about having a business like this is it really allows you to exemplify your taxes. I don't know if that's the right word, but I was able to really focus on bringing our taxes down last year by, some of the things you can write off when you're a small business owner. And those types of things have really been foundational. It is a legitimate business opportunity. But what's been even more impactful is seeing the people on my team whose lives have been dramatically changed. I've had women who were able to quit their Saturday jobs that kept them away from their families for years by being able to help them grow a business. And so as much as I've seen benefits in my own family and myself and my career through this pathway, I've become even more fulfilled by being able to help other people do the same. And I think that's what's so awesome about this business model is everybody wants to see you succeed. Ellie said, get a mentor. And I actually saw a video of her sharing a speech 3 years ago that inspired the hell out of me. And I wanted to be just like her. So I've been modeling things she did for 3 years and have been able to build a successful business despite working a lot, despite having children. It really is whether you want to make a change. And I was ready to make a change. I was ready to impact my family through my income with this business. I am not yet to the point where I can quit because I make a healthy salary doing IT sales, but I am at the point where we are really able to live differently than we were used to able to do. We've been able to take a Disney trip. We went to the beach this summer. We're able to add back in fun. There was a period of at least 3 years or so when my kids were born that we didn't take a single vacation because it was that tight, living paycheck to paycheck. And so the residual income that I've been able to make from this has been life-changing for us. And it just keeps getting more exciting and more impactful as it grows. So, I have my eyes set on being a full-time freelancer with this business. And I think it's not very far off for me. So that's my story.
Thank you so much, Kerry. I love your story. All right. And next we're going to hear from Danielle Hatton.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So my journey began 7 years ago when I was at dance college and I was struggling with body image and self-confidence, and I was definitely battling some eating problems. And I remember this year on New Year's Eve, and you know how you always make New Year's resolutions, and every other year for like, I don't even know how many years, it was always like, I'm going to lose this much weight, I'm going to do this diet, blah, 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 blah. And I just made a resolution where I was just going to nourish my body and my mind and educate myself around health and wellness and self-kindness. And I honestly just fell in love with health and wellness from then, and just educating myself and learning how to thrive by just eating more food and healthier food and more plants and all of that good stuff. And I really then fell in love with helping other people, because at dance college, everybody's going through the same struggle, and just teaching people how to not have to do all these crazy diets or fads or have so much strictness around your food. And then 5.5 years ago, I was introduced to this business, and it totally aligned with my health values, and the products just made so much sense to me, whole food. So I decided to jump in, and honestly, at the time, I had nothing to lose. I was broke, I was a student, I was eating garden peas and living off my weekly $25 allowance from my parents. And I was already helping people get healthy. And just with this business, I was able to get paid for it. And I was also able to make a bigger impact than the one I was making by helping my friends introduce these products into their routine. And that made me feel so good that I could help them thrive better. And so I dived right in, and honestly, I got obsessed with the business model and the opportunity that it gives. And then after college, I moved to London. And if you ever live in a big city, you know that you have to have like a million jobs to survive. So I had like 3 jobs, and I was working 14-hour days, and it was just draining. And the thing that I loved so much was having this business to be able to build in stolen moments, and working on my phone in the midst of traveling from one job to another, or staying up late. And it was never like a burden, it was always like a fuel that helped me get through my day of like, I get to build this business and make an impact whilst I'm going and working all of these hospitality jobs and just living paycheck to paycheck. And after 7 months of living in London and giving this business a strong yes, I was able to quit all 3 jobs and double my income. And for the past 3.5 years, I've been doing this full time, and I was able to move to New York City. And honestly, like, this business has been the biggest blessing for me, because when I moved to New York, I knew nobody. Like, I only knew my boyfriend, fiance, and that was it. And he didn't know anyone, and I wasn't able to get a job because of my visa. I wasn't going to school because I didn't need to. And so I wasn't like, how usually you're thrown into a community, like you have a job, work friends and things like that. I had none of that. And this business really gifted me with friendships who are not just your average people. They're like high vibe people doing good things in the world. And that was probably the biggest blessing for me. And now the best thing is that I get to work from home with my new puppy, and we just have cuddles all day, and we work from the couch or from my desk, and we eat yummy food, and we help people, and we're on a bigger mission, and we help people thrive in their life. And I just feel so blessed to have found this business. And I honestly encourage you to think, why not you? Because for so long I told myself that it isn't possible for me, and those things are just for people who work big corporate jobs, or spend so much time working. That's the only way that you're ever able to achieve huge things for yourself. And just last week, I was able to fly my mom and my best friend to New York to come wedding dress shopping with me, all the way from England. And we went and we said yes to the dress, and I paid for my dress and my veil and all of the things that cost so much money, with one bonus check that I made in this business from literally just helping people thrive in their lives. So yeah, grateful beyond belief. And that's just a snippet of my story, because as you can imagine, there's a lot of things that come in 5.5 years.
Thank you so much, Danielle. And I'm going to hand it over to Samantha Clemens.
Hello, I am so passionate about this topic. I could go on a rant, so if I go on for really long, just bear with me. So I really love to start out just by asking a really simple question, and it's rhetorical, but so how many people feel really achy and super tired after getting home from work? I remember being in retail and always having a job where I got to talk to people, because that's what I love to do. It's something I'm good at. And I remember I would just have such a big desire to get my feet, get a foot massage or something, because I was so achy and tired. And that's totally normal for working a 9-to-5 job. Like, that's the reality that most people live in. But that lifestyle does not have to be the normal. That is not the norm. I don't think it's normal for a person's body to be in pain, where our bodies have built-in healing systems. And when we can kind of program and access and feed it the way that they're meant to be fed and nourished, immediately lots of chronic disease, ailments, illnesses, they all kind of disappear. So I spent about 7 years after high school and after doing some fashion design stuff with Nordstrom. It was an amazing experience. I loved retail. I loved sales. I went into management. And I learned so much from this time. But the biggest thing I realized after switching to freelance is that our society isn't set up economically or socially for for the employees to be valued. Like, traditional companies just have one bottom line, and it's to make money. And I think that's the reason why capitalism can get such a bad rap. Peta Kelly, she's an entrepreneur. She does a phenomenal job touching on this subject in her book. I think it's called The New Earth. I can't remember. The Earth is Hiring.
So good.
The Earth is Hiring. If you haven't read that book, you have to write down this title right now and like go listen to the audio at least. But she talks about this new standard businesses are having where it's 3 bottom lines. So one for the environment, one for the employees, and then lastly for the company's revenue. And so just like little things, I remember working a 9-to-5, it didn't allow me to drink as much water as I needed in a day. I couldn't just like work with my body's natural rhythms and like have snacks when I wanted to. It was like a luxury to go to the bathroom in like a 3-hour time frame. And that's not how our bodies are meant to work. So I remember like I hit management and there was this hustle mentality that was constantly being glorified. And literally it was training my body to like override its natural rhythms, all the messages. And I just remember really feeling like a square peg trying to fit into a round hole. And now fast forward 4 years later, I've been doing freelance, and really in the beginning, I was all on my own. And I was doing social media and I liked it, but I was self-taught. So I like couldn't quite see where my future was headed. It was a little foggy and I was definitely a little isolated from the rest of the world. But I knew I wanted to keep working for myself. I knew I loved the freedom, the flexibility that working for myself held. And I remember hitting a breaking point. My life looked really good on paper, but I wasn't fulfilled. And that was the moment I realized I wanted to be an ambassador, partner with a company that could supply the structure and align with all my values. And so to me, that really looked like working with a company who was actively making a difference in the world, and a company that builds in resources like time, financial freedom, location freedom. And then last but not least, it's in connection and disguised as a personal development course. Like that those are my 3 things that it had to hit. And this company that I'm partnered with, it hits those 3 desires. So it gave me community, it's given me another income stream, a way to develop my leadership skills, and just on the most basic level, an effective and really affordable way to heal my body from the inside out. So I just feel so grateful. I'm glad I found these capsules and the yummy vegan shakes a year ago. And really, I like sharing this in hopes of inspiring you. So if you're watching this, you're feeling hopeless or even just like a little bit lost, like life is pretty good, but it could be a little bit better. I'm sharing my message just to let you know that it starts with trusting your gut. It starts with being willing to own that you are also the square peg and you don't have to fit into the round hole anymore. We get to recreate that the way that business is working. Thank you.
Amazing. So good. Well, that nailed it. And so I'll just, wrap it up by saying if anything that we said tonight resonated with you, please get with the person who invited you on the call and they can share with you what the next step would be to learn us, join us or learn more, just like take the next step, what the next step is in your journey. So thank you all for joining us tonight, either live or on the recording. And thank you so much to Kerry and Danielle and Samantha for sharing your incredible stories. I'm going to stop the recording.